TV.
I said I'm drowning. Niggas hit me up on my phone, asking all these questions, and I say, man, they clowning. What I'm gonna do in this world? I'm lost on the streets, cause man, know I'm drowning. Drown, 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 drown. I said I'm drowning. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, wow, I say I'm drowning. Niggas hit me up on my phone, asking all these questions, and I play like they clowning. What I'm gonna do in this world? Lost on the streets, and the nigga know me drowning. Yeah.
What's up, everybody? What's going on? It's your boy AD, and that's all day. I'm in the spot. I hope everybody is doing good today on this afternoon. It's going on 2 o'clock soon on my time. Hope y'all are doing well. What up, Dre? I see you in the comments. What's happening? Today I got a little topic I wanted to get on. I said I'm gonna try to bring some more of these out, get some time to get some more things to just talk about and discuss and whatnot. And I think this is a good one to talk about. I'm gonna try to give y'all like some of my experiences and stuff that I remember and just stuff that, how things kind of used to be, because things really did used to be way different before the internet really kind of got settled in to the way that it is, you know. And I kind of got this idea from a channel called it's called Recollection Records. Yeah, Recollection Records or Recollection Roads. And it's basically a channel that basically that's all they talk about. All they talk about is stuff in the history, how things used to be. So it kind of gave me some ideas and some points to want to talk about it. And it's a very great channel where you can learn a lot from, because a lot of things are real shocking when it comes to how things are now and how things used to be. Like going all the way back to like the 40s and the 50s, because we have changed a lot when it comes to a lot of things that we do and a lot of things that, that we interact with. So I wrote a little list down and whatnot. I may not be able to go through this whole entire list, but I wrote a little list and some little points, and I'm gonna try to go, because the way I feel about the internet, like internet access has been around since the 90s, right? Computers been around for longer, but it took a time, just like other things in life. Like it takes time sometimes for things to develop and to move on into bigger things, or have a bigger influence on a group of people in our lives. Kind of like how the saying goes. The saying goes that Rome was not built in a day. And that's very true. It wasn't, So to me, I feel like the year where internet really started to take off and the technology really started to, because it's been around since the 90s, but it was slow processing, it was expensive. And over time, technology did become more expanded, but it became cheaper somewhat as well and more accessible. But I say the year where it really kind of began, like really taking off and changing things for us, like it had its up the moments, but I say it probably was about 2011, 2012. I think that was a good like year where it really started, like people really started getting on Twitter and getting on other stuff like YouTube. YouTube was around since 2005, but it really took the early 2010s before YouTube and a lot of the other, websites started really picking up and gaining traction. I think it was a big boom too in 2014 when, especially when all the TVs and stuff start going HD and everything start going HD. I think that was another big internet boom right there that helped expand the internet more in 2014. And now we're in 2023, and now honestly it's the internet has pretty much almost took control over our whole lives. Not Now, I'm not saying everyone, everybody, some people don't even be on there. But when it comes to the things we do and how things used to be, a lot of things really have changed, man. And I'm just going to point out a few of these things, let you know. Like I said, I wrote a good amount of points. To be honest, I got like 13 on here. But I don't think I'm going to be able to cover all 13 of these. But I don't know. I'm going to try to get to them and just tell y'all what I think about it. But the first one I got is phone calls and letters. And I find this to be a big one because back in the day, before flip phones and phones being able to do everything, you had to really be at home to be on the phone. You really had to remember people's numbers and write them down. Or you would write letters. Letters were way more relevant back in the day. And pen pals. I remember people used to have pen pals. Even when I was in school growing up, we had pen pals, and you wouldn't even know the person, but you would still write to them and they'll write back. And it was so interesting, man. I felt like the way phone calls used to be and interactions, it meant a little bit more because it was more of more of a pleasure, you know what I'm saying, to have access to that type of stuff. I felt like it was more of a pleasure. Everybody didn't have no phones and then like I said, you had to be at home. You actually cared about who you gave your number to a little bit more, and you would actually probably have deeper conversations because it wasn't just so easy to just scroll through your phone and there's like 100 people in your phone and then you could just think and choose that you can pick whoever. Back then, you really had to put some time and work into it. And writing letters was totally a big thing back in the day, and postcards as well. Nowadays, though, it's way more simpler and easier, nowadays. And don't forget, too, back in the day, phone calls were expensive. Even when flip phones and stuff first started coming out, cell phones, the shit was expensive, way more expensive. So that's another reason why it was so difficult. So, like, if you wanted to call out of country or call far out of state, you had to spend a lot of money. Nowadays, you can call damn near wherever you want, and it's all on a Pacific Unlimited plan, Now, again, everything is just so much more easier now, which makes me feel like this is why a lot of things are kind of changing a lot for the worse because they simplify a lot of stuff, but it's taken away a lot of people's real work and effort and appreciation for things. And a lot of those things that we used to experience in the past is what caused us to be better people, So that's a good one. Phone calls and letters. Number 2, learning at the library or bookstore. Now, that's a good one as well. Learning at the library and on the bookstore. So what I mean by this one is back in the day, there was no Google. Back in the day, there was no, let me just hop on the computer real quick or hop on the phone real quick and let me just get all the answers I need. Nah, back in the day, if you really wanted to know something or you wanted to look up something or try to learn about something, you literally had to go to the library. You literally had to, or you had to get truthful, proper word of mouth. Like, even when it comes to school, like school back then, you had to literally, like, if your teacher said, you got to write assignments, do it on this, and you ain't have a computer, even before computers, you would have to go to the library, look it up, get a book, write all this stuff down, get the information, take it into class. And if you didn't do it, you would mess around and get a failing grade. I feel like kids nowadays, I feel like they have it way more easier in school than what it used to be. Because nowadays, you can just cheat like no other. You can get the answers on your watch. You can get the answers on your phone. You can get the answers wherever you need. Nowadays, you don't even have to put any real effort to just be like, hey, I know what this is. And that kind of takes away from the learning aspect too, because a lot of people want, and now you just getting answers, but you're not really understanding why and stuff like that. So that's another one as well. Hold on, I'm looking at the list right now. Hold on. Her learning was a big thing. It really was. And that's why I feel like a lot of people kind of take what it is today for granted, because you can really go online and learn a lot. There's so much stuff you can learn on here for free and do, and to increase your knowledge. But a lot of people just don't really care about that stuff. They rather use it for evil things and things that really don't help them grow their mind too much. That's why back in the day, if you at least went up in that library, you might want to at least look through something, learn something. Even then, you would see something. Now it's just, okay, let me go on Google. Let me go on here. Let me put this in real quick. All right, I got the answer. All right, like, everybody I feel like should be A1 students today. Like, there should not be no excuse why you really shouldn't, unless you just really just don't want to do it at all. Don't want to do your work at all. Number three, records, tapes, and CDs. This is another big one. Music. Right. Back in the day, there was no YouTube, there was no Apple Music, there was none of this other stuff. There was no even downloading tracks and stuff yet. Back then you literally had to get a record or a CD or an A track. That was the only way to really get your music back in the day. It wasn't all easy. Like, again, today everything is easy now. Like, now all you got to do is just type in your favorite song, and it doesn't matter from what year it is, and it's just going to pop up and you can play it. But just think about people in the past. If you really want that music, you had to go to the album store, or you had to get it from friends or something like that. And those moments at the record stores was some of the best moments, though, man. Going to the record stores and looking at all the albums. And then back then, I feel like music was a lot more creative. It was way more creative back in the day. Way more people really trying to get their music out there and trying to put themselves out there in different lights. Unlike today, where most artists are like the same old repeat thing over and over again. That's why, if you notice, whenever they do big events and like big things start happening, Super Bowl, whatever, notice that most of the time it's old artists. You notice that. Notice how they don't really have like newer artists do big, big events. Not like that. So that's another good one, because records, tape, and CDs too, man. Back in the day, you people had to get the CD, and then but CDs didn't last too long, because that's when people start burning them, and then that's when people start going crazy, and that's what led into what's going on now, where all the music is just online and downloaded, and that's kind of sad too, because you're taking away from your value. It's like everything being on the internet takes away from your value and yourself and what you do and the value of what it is. Like, instead of all those records and tapes and CDs that are actually worth money and have value and are actual physical materials, now all your music is just downloaded on a damn computer, and it's not really real. It's kind of like the video games too. It's the same thing. And honestly, that's what these companies want. But what up, Dre? I see you in the background. What's popping? I see you.
Hey,
What up?
hey,
What up?
hey. What's up? I hear the convo. I hear the convo. I hear the topic. Sounding good. I had to join in on it.
Yeah, I was on records, tapes, and CDs. That's what I was just talking about, and how it was back in the day. Like, even with the cassette tapes, I definitely remember having a Walkman when I was a kid, loving my shit, loving my cassette player and my CD player. Remember when
Like a
CD
CD
players
player.
was extremely relevant?
Hold on. Okay, there we go. Oh, yes. I had a nice CD player in like 2000. What was it? I think that was like 2009. It's a long
Um,
time ago now. But it was so nice. And then I had a CD case with all my favorite CDs in it. Ended up getting lost, but I really liked it when I had it. And I had to, you really have to spend your money and buy those CDs.
yeah,
And that's what made artists different, because if it was a good artist, then their CDs got bought. If it was not a good artist, then they just stayed there collecting dust. And now you wouldn't know that, because That's why you can't really keep up with the new artists. Because back in the day, you would see them, you would see who was out, you would see all the
What's
CDs
up?
is
What's up,
out,
House
what
of
the
Tating the Gammon? What's up?
hey. But now it's like you don't know who's out because you can't even see their music. You have to go on like iTunes and just different type of platforms.
Right.
Back then, it was like more in your face on magazines in the music store, so you can see who was out and you can know if they was good or not because
Appreciate
you'll
it.
listen to them.
Appreciate it,
Mhm.
man. Said showing some support. Now I agree. I agree with what you're saying
Right.
because nowadays, like I said, now it's like everything is just downloaded and this and that. Like that stuff really, man, it really has some real good values to it, man. And it was fun. I remember doing it in the mall. Like it used to be very fun in the mall, going to the mall, listening to the tracks early and stuff like that before you could buy them, and then you get to meet people be in there too, have a good little outing. Nowadays you could just get whatever you want. You could be all alone. You don't even see nobody or nothing like that. So yeah, records, tapes, and CDs. Also the way you recorded them too. Because if you wanted to get certain stuff, you had to record it as well, and you had to put it on tape. You had to sit there and wait for your favorite song to come up. So again, it took a lot more effort to do things back in the day, but it made you appreciate it though. And then once you really heard that song and that music, you would fall in love with it. You would definitely fall in love, especially
I
with
gotta
what it
leave
was.
and come back because now I can't hear anything. I got a phone call and it threw it all off. I'll be right back.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna move into the next one. The next one I got is video games and movie watching. And yeah, that's another thing that's changed so much when it comes to our lives. Because back in the day, before video games became more at home, the only way you could play a game back in the day was in the arcades. But that was it. That was it. Like even like video, I mean, yeah, it was Atari and stuff like that, but it really like video games became more of a home console with the NES, right? Which came out in 85. And even when that came out, it still took a while though before they became more in home. So back in the day, going to arcades was just like one of the funnest things that you could do, man. Like it was cheap too. It was way cheaper. You could go in there, barely spend anything and be playing games all day. And then it was groups of people there. You could always meet new friends, learn some things, start competitions. That's how gaming really was. And yeah, we didn't have like the big variety of games that we have today, but we had some good old classics back in the day. We had Pac-Man, we had Donkey Kong, we had Mario. We was getting close to Mario. We had some good shit, all types of shit, asteroids. Like that shit was cool. But nowadays gaming is completely different. Nowadays you can get it all online at the click of a button with these, with these, and game collecting and having games, like I said, it did have more value back in the day too. It really did, because you were forced to go out and go buy those games and have them and own them, and there was no way to get them online, and that's what made them be more valuable. That's why if you look today at game prices, notice that most of the real expensive stuff is the older stuff, the stuff that you got. That's why today you see gaming, you could just have everything online. That's why they released the consoles the way they did, because they want people to be like that now. That the companies want you to have everything online, so you don't have nothing to value and you can't resell nothing and you can't sell it back, and you just get all your money straight from them. Kind of like with GameStop. If you buy something for GameStop, the only way the producer and the company gets money is if someone actually buys it. They're new and not, so. But yeah, it makes it much easier for them too. Less work for the company to actually produce something physical as well. And
Okay, I'm back.
good.
My sound went out when I got a phone call, so I hope that don't happen because then I have to leave and come back. But I'm back. My
And
bad.
you
Everything
leaving and you coming back with
right,
a
and then I
bite.
come back. I'm back. I'm
And
back. I'm
you
like, oh
leaving and
no.
you coming back.
I'm like, I literally just got everything set up. Please don't. I don't want to have to do this again.
Okay.
My goodness.
So the next, this is still, I'm number 4. And my next point was movie watching. Movie watching
Okay.
has changed a lot as well too.
Oh yes. Like going to the movies, going out.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. Cause I don't
they
even know
had
what's out
drive-in
at the
movie
theater.
theaters.
Nowadays they put it out at the theater and you can stream it. So I'm like, what the? I guess you only go if you really want to. Back then you had to go to the theater or you had to wait till it come out to DVD.
Right, and that's
Like that's
why it was a
it.
bigger thing back then. So when movies came out back then, it was more hype and more of a again more of an effort to want to see that movie. And something else I noticed about movies too, I noticed that back in the day, it took longer for the movie to actually come out on VHS or DVD.
Or
You see
DVD.
nowadays, you will literally see a movie come out and less than a year later, it'll be on cable. It will be
Mhm.
on cable.
It comes out quickly again. Like you can stream it. You can literally stream it. So you can watch it from home as soon as it come out.
He said that's an awesome looking
That's what's
laptop. I do
crazy.
like how that laptop looks. Yeah, HP.
That's my blue baby.
Oh, what
Thank
up,
you.
Raven? What up? He said everything
Hey
is different from
Raven.
back in the day. Yeah, man. Cause just like with the movie watching, when you went to the theater, like people still go to the movies. They still do. It's
Right.
still an experience. But it just didn't have the same togetherness and vibe in the moment like it is today. Like
Yeah.
nowadays, you can come out with a banger movie, but it won't be lines stretched out all across the building like it used to be,
Mhm.
man. And it used to be a real big thing. This is why a lot of those top movies like that sold the most are older movies. Most of them, most of the top sold movies are like movies that came out like 80s, 90s.
And then you know what? They used to also be sold out. You know when you go to the movies and you really want to see something that's good, and they be like, "Oh, it's sold out."
Yeah.
Like, damn it!
Yeah,
I
I
don't even know
remember
what that
those
feel like no
days.
more.
I
Yeah.
remember
Then you
those
gotta come
days.
back.
Sold
Yep.
out. Like nowadays hey, you can just hop on Netflix,
Right.
hop on Hulu, hop on Peacock, hop on here, and then watch all your movies here. Don't go to the theater no more. Just stay at home and just watch it there. You know,
I think.
don't own the movie. Even though movies I feel like are a little cheaper compared to video games, but it's still nice to have the movie in your hand. But what you was finna say? My bad. It was different back then, bio, definitely.
I think the biggest effect the internet has had on the new world is actually leaving the house.
Yeah.
Actually leaving your house to do things. That's why when
Mm-hmm.
things like COVID-19 happened, they stay home, stay home. Imagine them trying to do that like 20 years ago, telling everybody to stay home. They were like, how are we going to stay home? How are we going to get what we need? But
Yeah.
now you can get groceries from home. You can get out to eat food from
You know
home.
what? That's the
You
next
can
one.
get,
Hold on, wait a second. Wait a second before you get
yeah.
into that one. That
But
was
I'm
my
like,
next point.
that's huge.
Let's move right into that because my fifth point was online shopping, like
Hmm.
shopping in general and online shopping, like how shopping has even changed our lives and who we are, and that relates, like you were saying, that totally relates
Yeah.
to being at home. Because back in the day, if you wanted something, you had to go out
You
and
have
go
to
get
go
it.
out.
I mean, yeah,
And
there were mail orders and stuff like that, but it wasn't as prevalent and as relevant as what it is, and as easy
right.
than what it is today.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with being in the house sometimes, but you should go out, go to the store, go just get some air, go just do some things. Some people would like do
I hear you,
everything
bio.
from the house. That's not good. That's not good at all. You know, you're not really getting out. You're not getting any air, no sun. They said people's vitamin D. I heard that people's vitamin D counts were low because they're not getting any sun. You're not going out.
Right, right. That's true. That's true. Like you said, especially having the other stuff that just happened, that just added more into it. And which I do agree. Cause I remember before CV, people were like door dashing and doing all this stuff. But once that settled in and came in, it just made it even worse, honestly. And Raven
Yeah, it
said
made it worse.
older and what up, Ray? Raven said older media content has deeper meaning than current, and I agree. Most of the older content did have deeper meanings. A lot of this new stuff is just the same old rebranded, retraced stuff, with the new age thin, shallow minded personality type bullshit that they put on it. A lot of the shit that comes out today is very simple, very easy
Mhm.
because it's the same old revamped shit. Just like what I was
Mhm.
saying with the music, like even the music was just way more creative. Like you would go into that record store and you could look at one row, just one row of music, and I bet you would be a big variety in that one row. Nowadays, everybody damn near sound the same, act the same, talk the same, do the same shit, especially the ones that's
Right.
being pushed.
There's no variety. We need variety, originality, and we need more excellence. It's like if you wanted to be known, if you wanted to be in people's faces, a star, or just famous or just known, period, you had to have some excellence. Or, it was other ways people would get famous or just known. But the number one way to be like the greatest because you were excellent. These
Right.
days we'll have people that's put up on it here when they're not excellent. When back then you had to be put up on that platform.
Yeah. And you had to put more
Nowadays you
effort
don't.
to get your name out there and to do
Mhm.
stuff. You had to. It wasn't so
You
easy
had to,
to
unless you
just
was
blow up
known.
or blow someone
Right,
else up.
right. I mean, unless you was known for being infamous, which is not a good thing. But to be known for a good thing and worldwide or just really really big, you have to have excellence, and that standard is gone, and that's not good.
I agree.
That is
And
not
online
good.
shopping, again, you had to go out. You had to communicate and do more stuff. I think people being more together help people love and respect people a little bit more too. Nowadays, people being more confined like this allows people to be
Mhm.
more self-conscious or narcissistic and not care so much
Mhm.
about other people because they like, hey, I don't got to deal with these mugs anyways because I know I can just do this on here online, just like with the shopping. Hey, I don't got to go to the store because I could just have it
Right.
shipped directly to my home. Hey, I
To
don't
your
have to
house.
go out and go eat because I could just have it come straight to my home. Now, I'm not saying
Mhm.
these things can be helpful or beneficial. They can,
They
but
can.
a lot of people are just using it for the wrong reasons. Because the internet did help. It did improve things, but
Mhm.
everyone is not allowing it to do that in their life.
Yeah.
Everybody is not allowing the internet to improve them, basically.
It's like a double-edged sword,
Yeah.
pretty much. Because that is necessities. That's good that you can get necessities and things you need sent to your home. Because everybody don't have a car. Everybody is not healthy enough to drive and do those things. So that is good.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just not good when it's overused. I don't,
Right.
anything too much is not good. So that's definitely not good too much because again, you're cutting off outside communication,
And that would connect.
human communications.
But like even back in the day, right? Like even for those who couldn't move around and stuff, that kind of made people communicate with people a little bit more. Cause then those people would try to be more cool and more real with maybe family members or people around, and then those people
Hmm.
would help those people. Now
Yeah,
nowadays it's like those people they can be whatever they want to be by
and
themselves and
still
still get
get
what
what they
they want.
need.
But it's still,
That's
again,
true.
it's definitely can help. Don't get me wrong, it can be beneficial. But just I'm just
Yeah.
basically pointing out the differences in time, because it was important, man. And I felt like shopping back in the day too. Like when you went to
Hmm.
stores, businesses back in the day, I felt like they cared more about you and they respected you more, and the people acted nicer and more closer. Like nowadays, again, it's like
Oh
everybody's
God.
all in their own little safe space bubble. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. And now when you go to some of these stores, they do not know how to act sometimes. I honestly, I really don't know. They don't think they can be fired or what it is, but these attitudes are crazy. Like you
True.
cannot do that. I remember I went to the store and I had a lot of bags, and she set them to the side and got to ringing the next person up. Like, so are you gonna help me put it in my cart?
Mm-hmm.
I could have sworn that's what you all usually do, and she did after I said something though. And I had a lot of bags. Like, so you're just gonna sit there and keep ringing? You don't even have room to add more bags. That just killed me.
Right, I feel you. That some
Yes,
people
but
be
I did
moving.
get help.
Man, I mean, look what's going on too with the with Walmarts right now. A lot of Walmarts are closing right now because they done added too many goddamn self-serving stations in the damn Walmarts, and now people are starting to steal now like crazy. And
Hmm.
that's what's messed up. Look at Walmart. They don't even want real people in their stuff no more.
And
Now,
that's what
here they
happened.
go, changing the shopping world again. Now you go in, you don't even see nobody at the counter, at the register. You go in, you do your own shit, pay your own shit, bag up your own shit, and now
But you
Walmart
know
gets to
what?
make more money.
Now they have new security when it comes to self checkout where there's a camera. I heard about this from a different Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
And there's now a camera, so if you do try to not scan your item, alarm goes off. So they have up in the security for that. Alarm goes off like you did not scan that item. So they definitely tighten up security on it, but it's still wrong because they had to close another one because of the stealing because you have everybody self checking out.
Yeah,
Everybody's self checking out. So yeah, of course some people are going to say, okay, I self check out. Oh, I'll definitely self check out.
and that's
And that's what
crazy.
happened.
Now you got security sitting there. It's right now you got that going on. Yeah, I just don't understand why they broke down the whole entire store. Like the section used to be so small at first. Now it's like all huge, and I could totally understand why people are stealing too because times are rougher. And like I
Right.
said, people are changed now. You know, people aren't as hard working as what they used to be. Look how I've already broke down and explained a whole bunch of things that took more effort that majority of people don't do anymore, or a lot of people have not even experienced. You know, a lot of the things that
Hmm.
we are talking about on this stream, some people have not even experienced because they weren't even born, or they, around those times, or they could have been babies or something, and
Right.
that's what's
So
sad
they
too.
don't
Is
know.
a lot of these youth and a lot of these children are gonna grow up and never even understand how it was for us or it were people before us,
I know. That's the crazy part. That's why if you do have any youth around you, it's good to just try to disconnect them for that for a little bit or do anything just to like get them back into the real world. Like, come on, let's watch a movie. Let's go to the park. Let's cook. Let's do
Yeah,
something just to detach you from whatever you're doing on your phone or whatever it's most likely that you're doing on your phone or from playing the game for some. Like, just detach them from that, the youngins, so they can get like a little feeling of our world because we already know we lived it, but they don't.
right. And
So
they'll be
you can
hooked.
just try
And they'll
because they
be
will
hooked
be hooked. They will. And it's like, come on, let's just put that down. Let's watch a movie or something.
because we
And if
did
you
not
find
have that
something,
growing up. Simpler times were makes a lot of times caused you to be more creative. Raven said, "This is the
yeah.
fake society the devil wanted." I agree. This is a lot of
Hmm.
this fakeness is devil.
It's a
It
lot of
is
it.
being evil. A lot of being fake is being evil, and it's
It
being
is.
like the devil. You know, the devil was
Yep.
one of the biggest fakesters, tricksters of all time, right? You know.
That's in the Bible just like that too. That's in the Bible just like that. I cannot remember it word from word, but basically, thinking one thing and doing the other, basically, simple way to put it, is evil. That is the evil act.
Right.
So it is evil.
Now, I might have to make you know what? I might make a part two to this. I might come back
It's
because
been
I
too
got a
long,
lot of,
huh?
I wrote a lot. I wrote at least 13 points. And right now I'm on 6. We finna do 6. We might do one more after this. And then cause I think a part two would be good because we'll be talking for a while. But the next one I
Yes.
wanted to talk about is traveling and booking trips
Okay, let's discuss that one.
and how that changed. So back in the day, there was no Google Maps. There was no, oh, I can just type in my destination. Oh, what's your address? Let me type this in. I can get where you go. Back then, you literally had to know the blocks and the streets, and you literally had to
Hmm.
either have a map or know someone. Or back then,
Pull out that big old paper map that they used to use and keep in
ri-
their glove department.
Right, even traveling was more of a big thing too, because here you go, if you wanted to go somewhere, you really had to put some work in to go somewhere, especially if you was going far. Even when it comes to booking flights and booking trips, it was no looking online and looking on YouTube to see what you had to do. You literally had to read brochures, or literally had to see pictures from people or talk to other people. Nowadays, it's the simplest thing. If you can go across the country, and all you got to do is just type it into your phone, and they're going to point you exactly where it is. Sometimes they could be a little off, but overall, it is
Right.
way more easier now to go anywhere that you want to go now. Way more simpler, and which
It
kind of
is.
takes away the thrill. You know, oh, let's go to
Or the
Paris.
learning of
Oh,
it.
let's go here. Let's go to Paris. Let's go here. But now, already seen it, know it, and you know what I'm saying?
hmm And definitely, and then I was saying it takes away the learning of it. Because here it goes. Yes, it's helpful. It is helpful because nobody wants to get lost. But then
Mm-hmm.
again, if you're not doing it correctly, now you're not really learning your streets. You're not really learning your locations. You're not really
Right.
learning those things. You just go there, use your phone, get there, go home, and now it's out your head. It's not really stuck. As
Yeah.
if you read a map and really had to guide your way through it.
Or it'll force you to remember, right? Just like phone
Right.
numbers, we had to be forced to remember our phone numbers. You literally had to remember those digits, and if they was out of
Yes,
town, you gonna have to remember an extra three.
exactly. And it wasn't that hard. Nowadays they think it's like ridiculously hard, but back in the day, if you dialed it enough and used it enough, you remember it. Just like now, like I still remember numbers by heart that's been the same number that I was a kid.
Yeah.
But if it's like a
Nowadays,
new
you won't
number,
even
it's hard.
remember
It's
a number.
definitely harder.
You
Right nowadays, no.
lose your phone nowadays. You can't remember nobody's shit no more.
Oh shoot, I'm gonna have to get my phone. Ooh, this phone putting me through it. I'm gonna have to charge it up soon. But yeah, old numbers, I still remember them by heart because it's been the same so long. But when it comes to like new numbers, it's just saved in your phone, pretty much.
Raven said, America is the example of what happens when people leave God and Jesus Christ. And I agree. I feel like a lot of what's going on is kind of like what happened in the past when people did evil things and turned their back on Jesus. I really do feel like you're pulling your way. People are pulling themselves away from their real faith and their real true beliefs to be, like I said, better people. The further you go away from that, the further you lean towards the opposite side.
Evil, yeah. It's like you don't believe in anything. I mean, you don't have. I understand everybody's not Christian. Everybody have
Right.
their own beliefs, but just are you doing something? Just something,
And
please, because
and
just please.
and you got to think about what it was about. Like a lot of what it was about was positive. A lot about what Jesus did was very positive and very real
hmm
and very life. Like a lot of what happened in the Bible is in a lot of important life lessons, man. Like
hmm
important stuff. Yeah, I
And
know
that's
it's just,
why it's there
I
as
know
a
it might
learning
sound a little
guide.
weird, because of the timing and stuff, but I mean, this is a very, very deep topic. But I'm just agreeing with what Raven was saying.
Me too. That's the thing. Just have something that you can that keeps you focused, that keeps you on the right path, that keeps you in good feelings, that you can have faith and have hope and just have something good and positive going on, something.
Right.
Because if you just have nothing and just you're able to fall into any little trap that's going on in this world, and it is a lot today. You're just able to fall into anything. You have no shield for yourself.
Yeah. Again, this is a very deep topic. I mean, I can go extremely deep when it comes to this, but it's just everybody has their own thing, but it's just
Yeah,
our opinions. Um,
yes it is.
this the last one though. This is gonna be a quick one because I guess I am gonna make a part two because so we can touch some more of these. But I don't want
So we
this
ain't
to
got
be
to
too
rush it.
long though. But now we got board games and family night. That's the next one. This number
Oh
7.
yeah, that's a good one. Board
Now,
games and family night.
Yeah, like back in the day before all the because the entertainment was so much harder. Like back in the day, shit, it was hard to have a TV. Like if you had a TV that was color, you was the shit, you know? So entertainment and doing things to enjoy yourselves and come together, you had to play board games, man. Yeah, that was another big thing. Even with me
Yeah, and
as
we
a
love
child
to do it.
growing up, we used to play hella board games growing up. Hells of them. And I'm gonna be honest, I had, man, those were some of my funnest times. Like I'm not even
Yeah,
gonna lie.
we used to have fun playing those games. They used to get serious. You know, them games get serious.
Oh yeah, they do. I know. Yeah, yeah, definitely. You know,
You
all
know it.
patient or two. I can't act like I ain't never seen nobody pop off over Monopoly or something. But
I done
overall,
seen
it
so
was
many
great
fights.
times, great moments. And board games
Mhm,
really taught you, made you read, made you pay attention, made you
mhm.
strategize. I think that's why
Work
I like
together.
games like Mario Party and shit so much today. Because I grew
Mhm,
up playing so much board games in the past. Like board games really was a great way to expand your mind and connect with other people and be
yeah, I
close
love
to
board
people.
games.
Like stuff like that used to connect you. And again, yeah, people still play board games today, but again, it's not as relevant and prevalent. Like it
Yeah.
used to be a real thing having family night and being with your family to get entertained and enjoyment out the people you're around. You know, that's what it
Mhm.
used to be. Now you look at a lot of families and you got one person in that one room, the next person in that room doing something, this person over there doing something, this person out there somewhere, this person. Like back in the day, it was more time was spent at wanting to be with others, that especially the ones that you love, and people would want it too, you know, and people wouldn't think so much like today where everybody is disposable, you know, care about who you're around, but at the same time don't have that everybody's disposable attitude. And because back then you
Mhm.
appreciated more no matter who people were for who they really were, you know.
Yeah, I agree. That disposable, you gotta not take people for granted. Be more grateful. Be more grateful for those around you.
Yeah.
You'll learn that. I think the older you get, the more that you learn that though. I
And
definitely do.
Kylie, I don't know what you're talking about. What's up, Kylie? But I
What
don't know what
Kylie
you're talking
say? I don't know what she said. Maybe I'll leave it alone. Hi Kylie. But yeah, we definitely gotta do a part two. This is good.
about. Wait a minute.
Maybe I don't know.
You know, but
We definitely gotta do a part two.
yeah, sorry. Yeah, oh, another game I used to love. I used
I
to play
love
Sorry.
Sorry. Sorry was my favorite before we started playing Monopoly and stuff. When I got a little older, when I was little, Sorry and Candyland was my favorite when I was little. Candyland.
I
It's a little
mean,
kid game, but I loved it.
yep. Sometimes I be looking at the board games when you know they be having them for sale at the stores. Sometimes I be thinking about picking them up, but I haven't picked
Yeah,
one up yet. But sometimes I be looking at them, especially if I see one for
pick
sale.
them up.
But yeah, I
I
mean,
had a I had a board. We was addicted to board games. I say like um during the beginning of high school, a couple of first years, we were addicted. If we seen any type of Monopoly, any type of Life, any of those, we were addicted to board games, and I still like them.
what's up, Blue? I see y'all Raven. Why y'all getting on the Raven and Blue? What's up? I
What are
see
they
y'all.
talking about?
They talking about Kylie. But
What is
so
happening?
yeah, that was another big moment. That was definitely a good thing, and even with gaming, I'm gonna talk about video games a little bit more too. Like even with video games, it was surely fun to sit down with your friends back in the day and your family and play your games back in the day. You know, throwback NES, Super Nintendo, Genesis. You know,
Hmm.
before it became internet
Yeah.
and all of that, it was fun to have group sessions and group moments in your house, and you're all sitting there connecting, playing the game, having fun. Shit, people back in the day even used to have wrestling parties, man. And like people don't really do that no more. But back in the day, like if it was like a fire ass Nitro that was finna come on, or like a fire ass Raw,
That sound lit.
yeah, everybody would get together, cook up like it was the Super Bowl or something. That's another thing that people used to do back in the day.
Wrestling parties. Now that sounds fun, but yeah, that stuff was definitely cool.
Oh
Playing the
yeah.
game with the family. We used to play Crash Bandicoot. That was our family game. Crash Bandicoot.
Oh yeah, I played the hell out of that growing up. I played so much. That was definitely one of the main games I grew up with on the PlayStation.
Yes.
Raven said, "Did you guys play Candyland?" Yeah, Drea was just talking about that
Candyland.
earlier. Yep.
I grew up playing Candyland, and then once I had nieces and nephews, we played Candyland, and I love Candyland. It's so simple for the kids, and it's still fun. I love Candyland.
Yeah. Blue
Yes,
said,
we
I
did.
remember retro game systems and board games too. Yeah, man. That it was definitely some good times. Good times back then, man. And it's more I'm a cover. It definitely is because I it's some on here that I really wanted to cover, but I ain't cover like the news. That's one I want to cover. That's
The
gonna
news.
be a good one. The news.
Oh
But
yeah, that's a good one.
yeah. I hope y'all enjoyed this though. I just wanted to come out here. Like I said, I'm gonna try to make more of these. I've been trying at least to get at least one of these out a week,
Yeah.
where we just come in and we just discuss certain topics or whatever. But since it's gonna be a part two probably will come a little quicker. Then we might do that tomorrow. Yeah.
That's a plan of me. I like that. That's cool.
Unless I could
That's
think of something
cool.
else. But we'll probably do it tomorrow. And thank y'all for stopping through. I wanted to keep
Yes.
this a little short and sweet. And go back if y'all want to hear the other points we made earlier. And thank y'all for coming. I hope y'all have a good day. Anything you want to say, Dre, before we get up out of here on this young later tip?
I would like to say thanks for coming. Thanks for joining us with this stream. It was awesome talking, chatting up, especially having a chat here with us.
Yeah, thanks a
This
lot,
was nice.
everyone.
Yeah, thanks. This was cool. I'm happy we got this done during this day. Now y'all have a good one. We'll
Right,
see
it's
you next
still early.
time. Right, it's so early, so now we got plenty of day left. And thanks for being here. I'll be back for part two tomorrow with Mr. Money. So catch us tomorrow then, and y'all have a good one. Take care and take it easy.
All right,
Thank
guys.
you for having me.
All right, everybody. We'll see you on a later tip. Peace out.